Good afternoon, everyone. Mic test, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic test, 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the STAR Guaranteed course. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the STAR Guaranteed course. My name is Audre and I'm a certified Pharmanex trainer. Today, I'm going to share with you how you can improve your immunity. You know, in the last few weeks, we have this coronavirus, that's been happening first in China and then after that in Southeast Asia, and now it's moved to the rest of the world. And what we've seen is that it has become more and more severe, and now the WHO has declared that COVID-19 is a pandemic. Okay, I think during this time, when there's so much information out there, fake news or otherwise, it is very important to really get to know what it is that we should do to help ourselves, right? And I think on the 30th of January, the New Straits Times actually had an article to share with us to make sure that our immune system is strong and fit to fight. I think that is the key, really in all this, everything that's going on, our immune system is really the last line of defense, okay? And we must make sure that it is strong enough to fight. So firstly, before we carry on to find out what we need to do to strengthen our immune system or to improve our immune system, let us see what our immune system actually is, okay? So our immune system is a complex system of blood cells and organs, and its role is to protect our body from harmful germs, bacteria, and viruses that may invade our body and cause us illness. Okay, so very much like the army of a nation, the role of the immune system is to detect a threat, then to deflect the threat, and if they actually, go into your body, is to destroy it. Okay. I think one of the things that we can actually take a look at also during this period is, some of the things that we do may not be supporting our immune system, and they might actually be harming our immune system. So what are the things that might harm our immune system? Right now, a lot of people are going into panic buying, and the store shelves are emptying out, especially for toilet paper, masks, sanitizers. Very difficult to get these items, right? So, really all the stress and anxiety is not helpful for our immune system. Okay, and then there are people who actually talk about 70% alcohol to kill the virus. Okay, so people are saying, oh, well, let's drink more so that we can kill the virus. And people come out with strange concoctions, and actually some of these people have mixed quite harmful stuff together, and actually in the process more or less poison themselves or burn their gut lining. Okay, another thing that is happening nowadays is people stay awake because they are worried about their jobs, or they are worried about if they cannot get the mask, what they should do the next day, and they are not able to sleep. So lack of sleep is another issue that will harm our immune system. Okay, I think right now is a very important time to really educate ourselves to see what is it that we can do to help us to strengthen and improve our immune system. Okay, another thing that people go into is now as people start to work from home, to keep themselves engaged, they may munch a lot of tidbits. Okay, so unhealthy diet is something that we should watch out for as well, because it's not useful for our immune system. And of course, dehydration. Some people have the discipline of filling their containers or flasks with water, like 1 liter or 2 liters, and they ensure that by the end of the workday, they finish drinking up that particular container or flask. So now, if they are working from home, sometimes this does not happen, and people tend to become more dehydrated. Okay, so remember to drink your water, frequently and consistently as well. And as some people are working from home, they may also lack exercise, okay, and not getting enough sunlight or exercise may actually weaken our immune system as well. Okay, and finally, of course, this one don't really need to say very much about it because we all know about it. Smoking is something that will definitely harm your immune system. Okay, so we take a look at how diseases are developed. Diseases are developed, they don't just suddenly happen overnight. And as is the case with COVID-19, right? It always starts off in a pre-disease stage. Pre-disease stage basically is, it has to have a fertile soil to grow into a tree. Okay, so if we take an analogy of a tree, and then it progresses from pre-disease to early stage, to intermediate stage, and finally the late stage, and then that's full-blown COVID-19. So in order for it to go full-blown, it needs favorable conditions like, fertile soil, enough water in the case of a plant. So if we provide all the possible conditions and favorable conditions in inverted commas for the COVID-19 virus to develop, then that's what's happening. That's what will happen ultimately. Okay, it will develop into a full-blown COVID-19 that can be quite serious. Okay, one of the things that we may want to look at right now is how can we understand our health and how can we understand antioxidants and the role of antioxidants in improving our health. Okay, it's really about a paradigm shift, and we can understand a little bit more about our own antioxidant level through the use of the biophotonic scanner. So those of you who have not been scanned before, I will encourage you to reach out to the friends that you know who have the S3 to get a scan done. Okay, and those of us who have scanned before, maybe some time ago, it's good to actually update ourselves with our current score. Okay, so how are we tracking in terms of our health during this critical period? Antioxidants and your health. Okay, so Dr. Richard Cutler, he's a research scientist with the National Institute on Aging at the National Institute of Health in Washington. Okay, and he says that the amount of antioxidant in your body is directly proportional to how long you will live. In fact, it's not just how long you will live, it's also how well you will live. Yeah, and also in the case where if you do contract something, how well you will recover and how completely you will recover and how quickly you will recover as well. Okay, so it is not something new. It has been researched in the past 30 years already, and there have been about 30,000 research papers or more in the past 30 years that show us that optimal health depends on the balance between the antioxidants and free radicals. Okay, so precisely what are we talking about? Okay, so as with the S3 scan scores, okay, there are a range of different scores that we can have classified under the various zones, the different colored zones. So it starts off very low at the red zone, and then it moves on to orange, yellow, and if you are relatively healthy, it will move on into the green, blue, or even the platinum zone. Okay, so these zones, basically, if you are under 19,000, you're looking at a lifestyle that is not very healthy. Supplements, you probably don't take supplements, and possibly the genetics are not very good. Okay, and for most people who do not supplement, they averagely fall within the 20,000 to 29,000 category, and they have an average lifestyle. For those who have good supplements and a better lifestyle, generally, they would fall between the yellow, green, blue, and even the platinum zones. Okay, generally, very good supplements will be able to take you into the green, the blue, as well as the platinum zones. Okay, so then we want to look at what are the factors that influence our score. The acronym GOLDS can actually be used to help us to look at the various factors that influence our score. So G for genes. Of course, genetic differences in various individuals will affect your body's ability to absorb carotenoids, which will then impact your score. Another thing that's very important is actually the body fat percentage, because people who are overweight or have a high level of body fat for their height and their gender generally will have a lower score, because fat is a store of toxins, okay? And if you have more toxins in your body, you will need more antioxidants to counteract these free radicals that are being produced. And so the antioxidants will be used up, resulting in a lower level of antioxidants. Okay? And then the next thing would be lifestyle. So is there anything in your lifestyle that would draw from your antioxidant level? Okay, or basically use up your antioxidant level. Some of these things, some of these factors include exposure to various sources of free radicals, including like smoke, which we talked about just now, stress, we also talked about it, and then sometimes also sunlight in terms of radiation, also pollution and various environmental toxins. Okay, and then of course diet is also a factor. So people who eat high amounts of fruits and vegetables typically will have higher scores. People who don't take as much fruits and vegetables, generally their scores will be lower. Okay, and then the S in goals will be supplementation. Okay, it is not the last one and not the least important. In fact, I would personally feel that it is one of the more important factors as well. Okay, typically people who consume well-formulated antioxidant supplements will have higher scores. Okay, and then I think the key word here will be well-formulated, because a lot of people will say, hey, you know, so I'm taking a lot of vitamins already from XYZ brand, you know, and then they scan themselves and they're very confident, and then they see that maybe their score is only about 23,000, and they've been on a particular supplement for maybe 5 years. So they'll ask the question, hey, you know, how come my score is so low? I'm taking a lot of supplements already. Maybe some of them are spending $700 a month on their supplement, and they still come up with this kind of score. So actually the bioavailability of the supplement is also very, very important. Okay, so now we want to take a look at how we can boost our immune system. Okay, when we talk about improving our immune system, we are looking at 4 different factors. One is the dietary habits. Then we look at supplement intake, which we covered quite a bit just now in terms of as part of factors. Also lifestyle choices and body composition. Okay, so for dietary habits, right, those people who have lower scores, the scores in the red zone, they are typically those who take very little fruits and vegetables. And they take more carbohydrates and oil, because carbohydrates and oil do not have antioxidants inside. Okay, so looking at the dietary habits, we can refer to the 3-3-3-3 well-balanced diet plan. Okay, so compare your own diet to this 3-3-3-3 well-balanced diet plan. Okay, what is this 3-3-3-3? 3 stands for the 3 meals that we have a day, and then the first 2 threes would be the amount of protein that you consume. So the first 3 would be for meat protein, the second one would be for vegetable protein or non-meat protein, the third one would be for carbohydrates, and then the final one would be basically vegetables. Okay, so we are talking about 1 serving each per meal, each of the 3 meals of the day. Okay, and if you want to know a little bit more, you can refer to your friend who shared with you about this today's class, and find out a bit more about this 3-3-3-3 well-balanced diet plan. Okay, so what happens to the body when we don't have the key nutrients that we need? Okay, so our body systems need key nutrients so that it can function properly. So similar like machinery which needs fuel, our body also needs certain key nutrients so that they can work properly. Okay, and what are these common deficiencies? What is usually not sufficient? Okay, I think in general, the general population suffer from a deficiency of water. Okay, so generally people don't drink enough water and they are not hydrated, not well hydrated. Okay, and water is very important. It's meant to be 70% of our body, right? Yeah, and then vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Okay, so we will see a little bit later on why it is important to take well-formulated supplements and why this may not be sufficiently found in the foods that we eat. Okay, then of course protein. Protein is very important for the building up of muscles in the body, for our structure, and good fats. Okay, so not any fats, but the good fats specifically found in fish oils. Okay, that's usually not in abundance. Okay, in our diets. Okay, so now we look at the supplement intake. So the first thing we want to talk about is is the natural food that we take sufficient? Okay, so why do we need to take supplements? Why are those people who whose SCS score or the skin carotenoid score are in the red zone? They usually tend not to have supplements. Okay, so is natural foods enough for us? The Japan Food Standards Ingredients Board has actually tabulated the amount of vitamin C found in 100 grams of spinach through the various years. Okay, and what is shocking to note is that in 1950, if you want to get like about 500 milligrams of vitamin C, you actually just need to take a little over maybe 300 grams of spinach. Okay, so in 1950, 100 grams of spinach will give you 150 milligrams of vitamin C. Okay, and then as about 13 years later, in 1963, this amount drops by 1/3. So 100 grams of spinach gives you 100 milligrams of vitamin C. Okay, this is still not too bad. I think you can eat like half a kg of spinach, right? In 1992, which is about 19 years later, this amount drops to 63 milligrams. Okay, so like it drops by another 1/3. Okay, for just 100 grams of spinach. And 10 years later, 12 years later, this amount drops to 13. I think that's a very, very significant drop because it's a drop of 80%. Okay, so suddenly, 100 grams of spinach just gives you 13 milligrams of vitamin C. That's in 1994. Okay, so if this year is 2020, I'm not sure what amount of vitamin C we're going to be able to extract from 100 grams of spinach. And, if you can't get this from the foods that we eat, then we still need to find it from somewhere else. And that's why supplements are important. Okay? So supplements is really a concentrated form of food. Do we really need them? Well, we do, right? Everyone should take supplements basically because the soil is depleted because of the way we farm, okay? And that was demonstrated in the earlier slide. And then basically, that supplements will help us to fill the nutritional gap that we have. Whatever is needed and we're not getting through our food, supplements can fill that gap. Okay? And of course, every one of us, even if you are a baby, is actually in the process of aging, right? Everyone becomes older. The next day, one more day older. And nutrient absorption tends to decline with age. Okay? And also, when we take a lot of, let's say, food sources, whether it be fish or it be vegetables, a lot of people talk about eating organic, or when they take too much fish oil, they are not sure if it's okay because there might be heavy metals poisoning. When you take a well-formulated supplement that has been tested to be safe, right, you avoid harmful chemicals found in your food supply. Okay, and of course you will prevent expensive health issues from occurring. So any issues that arise in terms of the chronic ailments that pop up as we age, right? Nutritional supplements are able to help to mitigate that risk. Okay. So how do we choose our supplements, right? What do we need to know about our supplements? And there's so many brands on the market. How do we choose them? Okay, basically there are a few criteria that we should look at in terms of choosing our supplements. Firstly, right, Pharmanex supplements are subjected to the 6S quality process. Okay, so this means that in terms of selecting the best possible ingredients, okay, S is for selection. Okay, then also sourcing, where do they get the most effective raw materials to extract these raw these nutrients from. Okay, and then of course specification. Certain things may look like another. For example, reishi, the mushrooms may look similar to each other, but there are different chemicals involved. There are different, sorry, not really chemicals, but different nutrients involved. Okay, and each of the fingerprint of the ingredients will be different. So that comes under specification. Then of course standardization. You want to make sure that whatever you purchase today and whatever you purchase a month later, across the batches in the singular batch, are basically consistent. Okay, so that's standardization. And then safety, of course, that's the most important, right? If you take something for a long-term basis, on a long-term basis, you want to make sure that there are contaminant analysis and that the supplement is safe. Okay, and finally, and most expensive of all, and least done in the supplements out there, is substantiation. Okay, are they substantiated with clinical trials and studies? Okay, and this is also very expensive. That's why it's not commonly done by other companies. Okay. Physician's desk reference. Physician's desk reference is the most recognized drug information reference available in the US, and in fact it is known as the US Doctor's Bible, right? And a lot of the Pharmanex as well as the H-Doc supplements are found in this PDR. And this US PDR basically means that if it is found in the PDR, the doctor can prescribe it to help with certain conditions. Okay, so which are the items that are listed in the physician's desk reference? Of course, there's G3, okay, Life Pack, T-Green, as well as Reishi Max. And for the H-Doc supplements, we are talking about TR90, Y-Span, as well as R-Squared. Okay, so let's take a look at Life Pack. Life Pack is the ultimate solution. Okay, it is the world's #1 selling supplement, and it is subjected to double-blind placebo-controlled studies. Okay, double-blind, what does it mean? Double-blind means the person who's administering it doesn't know which one is placebo, which one is the Life Pack. Okay, and the person who's taking it doesn't know, the patient doesn't know which one is the placebo and which one is the Life Pack. So this is known as the most objective form of study, controlled study. Okay, of course it's listed in the physician's desk reference as we mentioned just now, and in fact it is rated as #1 in third-party websites. So not just in the New Skin website, but even the consumerlabs.com website also lists Life Pack as a #1 supplement. Okay, and it has been endorsed by the US Olympic Committee since 1996. Okay, so Life Pack does various things. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. So what is Life Pack actually? Life Pack is a comprehensive nutritional wellness program. So that's quite cool, right? One program in a box, that you complete, one person completes in 1 month. And what does this do for you? Basically, Life Pack will deliver, right, the optimal level, the optimal type of vitamins, minerals, trace elements, antioxidants, phytonutrients for your general health and well-being. That's quite cool. I think that's really amazing, because now it means that, if I take my Life Pack every day, morning after my morning meal and night after my night meal, right, I don't have to really worry about, okay, did I take the brightly colored, various colored fruits and vegetables, the reds and the purples and the oranges and the greens. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that. Okay. The benefits would be, it will be able to address the common nutrition deficiencies that people face nowadays. It also gives you key anti-aging nutrients that will help you to protect your cell. And I think cell protection is very important in this fight against COVID-19. Okay. And then of course it will improve your skin carotenoid score as verified by the biophotonic scanner, and it helps you with your heart health, okay, your bone nutrition, your nutrient metabolism, as well as immune function, which is what we are talking about today anyway. Okay, we want to go back a little bit and look at the cellular protection. Okay, so cellular protection and cellular integrity is very important because basically what viruses do is viruses are not like one whole cell. They are actually a fragment of the cell, and they don't have their own DNA. So they need to use another host cell. So it's like parasitic in nature. It needs to use a host cell to make photocopies of itself. Okay, so if at the onset your cells are already protected, they cannot actually enter your cell. They're not able to make. They're not able to replicate. Okay, so that's why it's important. Life Pack is important, you know, in our supplementation program. Okay, and then next slide basically talks about the various antioxidants that Life Pack contains. Okay, imagine it contains all 8 forms of natural vitamin E. Like, do we even know that vitamin E has 8 forms, right? And then of course it has buffered vitamin C, which everyone talks about so much in this fight against COVID. Okay, 500 milligrams worth, and basically it's time release. So you take in the morning, it will last you for 12 hours, and you take in the night, it will last you for 12 hours. So it gives you all-round protection through your 24-hour day. Okay, and contains trace elements like selenium, copper, zinc, and manganese. Okay, and selenium is very important in ensuring the integrity of the cell membrane. Okay, so basically what we have is in Life Pack amazing nutritional science that is able to replace an entire mountain of pile or mountain of fruits and vegetables that you otherwise need to consume every day in order to get all the daily requirements for the vitamins, minerals, trace elements, phytonutrients that you need for your proper functioning of your body. Okay, and not only does it take very long to prepare all this food and vegetables, the washing, the cleaning, the cooking, but can you imagine how much it's going to cost? And are you sure you can actually finish all that in a day, right? And all this, you know, at the price of less than, I mean, in Singapore at least the Life Pack, one pack is less than $2. Okay, so we move on to the iodine demo. Okay, basically if you want to know about how effective Life Pack is, you can actually use basically plain water, you know, half a glass of plain water, add in some iodine, a few drops of iodine, and then swirl the mixture around, and you notice that it is tea colored, you know, the water becomes tea colored. Then we're going to break the capsule, the tablet of Life Pack, which is the light green tablet, okay, in Singapore and Indonesia. Okay, for Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand, we can use any capsule. And if you are using Life Pack Nano, please use the yellow capsule. Okay, so in Singapore, use the light green one, and then you break it into 2 and scrape some of the powder into the mixture that you have, the iodine mixture, so to speak, and then swirl it around, and voila, you'll notice that it turns clear. Okay, and you can actually do this with lemon juice as well, you know. But with lemon juice, you can only do it once. So in order to show you the efficacy of Life Pack, we're going to drop in more droplets of iodine in, and then swirl it around again. And here you have it. The water turns clear once again. Okay, so that's time release. Okay, so that's Life Pack. Okay, the next supplement that I like to talk about is G3, and G3 is my favorite supplement. You know, in fact, G3 was the supplement that actually got me interested in new skin. You know, in new skin itself. And G3 helped me to get over my asthmatic condition. Okay, so I used to suffer from asthma as a child, and the TCM doctor helped me to clear that for a while, but it didn't actually go to the source. So the moment I started working and started to put in the long days and late nights again, my asthma relapsed quite badly. Okay, and this resulted in very basically coughing throughout the year. Okay, and I think it's quite handy that I no longer cough, because I think if I still have that cough now, it's going to be quite dangerous for me during this COVID-19 situation. Okay, so after taking G3 for a while, basically I noticed that what used to be twice a month visit to the doctor has become no more, meaning that I have not seen the doctor for treatment of cough or asthma or anything like that since I started G3. And I think that's truly amazing. Okay, so G3, what is G3? G3 is a nutrient-dense fruit juice, and it contains a high level of antioxidants, okay, exceptionally high. And I think what's very amazing about G3 is it actually tastes very nice, and it's suitable for the entire family, whether you are just 6 months or 9 months old, all the way until like 99, 100 and beyond. Okay, and it's not like the typical fruit juices. It is actually a special, unique blend of fruits that are specially selected. Okay, so the scientists took 3 years to actually look through all the various fruits, especially the superfruits, and then they came up with this unique blend. Okay, and they selected it for the extraordinary antioxidant and nutritional content, and all this is backed by scientific data and clinical studies as well, research papers. Okay, so G3 juice is essentially made up of 4 different superfruits, including the jackfruit. Okay, the jackfruit is a very amazing fruit. It is known as the fruit from heaven, and it has 70 times the amount of lycopene compared to tomatoes. Okay, and 10 times the beta carotene of carrots. It also contains 3 other superfruits. Okay, and they are the silly fruit, Chinese lycium, as well as Siberian pineapple. So the silly fruit is the king of vitamin C. It has 60 times the amount of vitamin C compared to oranges, and Chinese lycium has 40 times the zeaxanthin contained in corn. And Siberian pineapple, again, is a super rich source of vitamin C, and in addition, it is a rich and natural source of carotenoids and flavonoids. And these are essential for vitamin C to be more stable and retained within your body. Okay, otherwise you'll just pass out very, very quickly. Okay, the benefits of G3, okay, basically G3 helps to support cellular rejuvenation, meaning that the cell becoming more young and alive. Okay, it helps to slow the effects of aging, and it protects the DNA. Of course, by consuming G3, you will be able to improve your SES, your scan score very quickly. Okay, and it will help you with antioxidant defense, give you healthy skin and eyes. That's why it's known as the beauty drink. Okay, of course, very importantly, it will support your healthy immune function, which is what we are talking about today, and also support prostate health. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of demo with the G3. Okay, so we're going to take some rice. Okay, we're going to wash it a little bit and wet the rice. Then we're going to drip in a few drops of iodine again. So iodine is basically like the free radicals, okay, and the rice representative of the cells of our body. Okay, we're going to swirl it around, and we're going to try to wash it off with water. Okay, because a lot of people say, hey, like very stressful, don't want to fall sick, drink more water. Yes, water is important, but can water really wash off the free radicals? As you can see, right, the rice is still stained brown, purple brown. So yeah, we can't just use water and clean off the free radicals. Okay, so we will just put a tiny little bit of G3 into that rice mixture, and then wash it off. Voila! The rice is white again. That's amazing, right? Okay, so I shared just now a little bit about my G3 testimonial. Okay, so I'm not going to really repeat this here, but G3 really helped me to improve my health and my immune system as well. Okay, Kelly Ong has a G3 testimonial as well, and it's for dengue fever. Okay, so in 2014, Kelly was admitted to the SGH 2 times because she had dengue fever. Okay, and in her case, she only suffered the pains and aches for just one night. And of course, you know, she went to visit the doctor in her neighborhood for a blood test and was very surprised to find out that her platelet count was very, very low. Okay, so she had to go down to the A&E department in SGH. Okay, and she was admitted, and the doctor gave her strict orders that she has to have bed rest. Okay, but then she felt very energetic and she had no pains and aches at all. Okay, but her blood platelet count didn't go back to normal, and her reading was crawling very slowly. So Kelly has been on Pharmanex supplements for a while already before that. You know, however, the moment she started to take G3, right, her platelet count started to go up steadily. You know, just after 2 days, she completed 1 bottle of G3, and then she was able to be discharged from the hospital after 3 days already. Okay, so that's just how amazing G3 is. Okay. The next supplement I like to talk about is Marine Omega. Okay, Marine Omega is the fish oil that we are talking about. Okay, but our Marine Omega, the Pharmanex Marine Omega, is quite special. Okay, it has krill oil in addition to the fish oil. So this as a dietary supplement, it will provide EPA and DHA, which actually supports your health and your wellness. Okay, and in addition, right, it will also have omega-3, yes, fatty acids. Okay, so it is the first omega-3 with krill oil supplement blend. So you don't have to take it separately, it comes together. Okay, and the EPA and the DHA come from 2 sources, the ultra pure fish oil as well as the krill oil. Okay, not going into too much detail, but I think we want to know what are the benefits of Marine Omega. So Marine Omega helps with your brain. Okay, once again, it promotes a healthy immune system, and it will also help your joint function and mobility. Okay, and for those of us who are very concerned about our skin, whether it's dry or dehydrated, or if people have dry skin and eczema and stuff like that, really Marine Omega can help that as well. And it also supports your heart health. Right. Next in line is Reishi Max. Okay. So Reishi Max is something that I think very interesting because it is a mushroom. It is a mushroom, and this mushroom is not the mushroom flesh itself. It's actually the cracked spores. Okay, what's inside the cracked spores, and this Reishi Max cracked spores substance inside, it helps to support your healthy immune system function, okay, which is what we're looking at today, and then it will also help you to in your body's defense immune cells as well. It will help you to grow your immune cells. Okay. So what are the benefits of this Reishi Max? Reishi Max will help you to protect your liver, okay, and in like during festive period, like the recent Chinese New Year, right? If we tend to drink a lot, you know, Reishi Max is something that's very, very helpful, okay? So like it helps to regulate the amount of alcohol that goes into your blood. Okay, so you can actually stay sober longer and wouldn't have such a bad hangover if you consume Reishi Max. It's also very good at helping the body to maintain a good level of blood glucose. Okay, and it helps you to improve your stamina and give you a better restful sleep. So in general, Reishi Max is very useful to enhance your overall well-being. Okay. It's also an immune system modulator. So you want to take Reishi Max for that also. Support your immune system. Okay, so we're going to do a very quick Reishi Max demo as well. So in a glass of warm water, we're going to empty out a capsule of Reishi Max, okay, and throw in the capsules for good measure, and then we just leave it there again, okay. Okay, and after a certain time, right, time lapse, you will notice that the Reishi Max mixture is very, very uniform. That means like the Reishi Max has diffused into the water already. Okay, and you can do the same demo with other brands. Okay, and a lot of other brands, even if they are more expensive than Reishi Max, right? You will notice that the Reishi actually sinks down to the bottom. Yeah, for other brands, and the water at the top is quite clear. Okay, so what does this mean? I mean, it's like, what does it mean, right? Basically, the Reishi Max that we have in Pharmanex and New Skin, it is more bioavailable. Okay, so basically, it won't be easily pooped out or peed out. Pardon my language. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we are going to look at is the third thing, okay, that will help us to improve our immune system. It is the choices in our lifestyle that we have. Okay, so those people who score in the red zone, right, they generally have high stress, maybe they fly around a lot, they expose themselves to sun and smoke a lot. Yeah, so these are the kind of lifestyles that they will have if they have a red score, okay, generally. So what can we do about it? Basically, for lifestyle, you just want to look at having a healthy life. So you exercise regularly, make sure you get enough sleep, we talked about that. And then in this case, right, during COVID-19, practice good hygiene. Okay, wash your hands regularly, and of course reduce your stress. Okay? And I want to just talk about very quickly the ultimate duo. Ultimate duo is made up of R squared as well as Y span. Okay, and I would say this comes under lifestyle because to me, the ultimate duo is not really a supplement. It's actually a part of our lifestyle. Okay, once you know about it, because it's really for maintenance of good health, and Y span helps the cells that are attacked by free radicals to maintain their integrity, okay, and R squared helps the cells to overcome the oxidative stress that they face every day. Okay, I'm not going to go in a lot of detail for this, but the next slide will basically show by taking both R squared and Y span, right, what are the benefits that one will experience. Okay, and really it covers the entire body. So it's good for your brain, it's good for your eye, it's good for your skin, it's good for your cells, for your metabolism, okay, for cellular purification, for your heart, for your cellular energy, for your bone health, for your joint health, for your physical performance, and then very importantly in this case, for your immune health as well. Okay, and if you're asking yourself, oh, like how long must I take it? Well, how long do you need to eat your food? Right? So if you need to eat your food every day and you need to eat it for the rest of your life, then I guess if you want to have the same kind of level of health and immune function, then I would suggest for myself at least to continue my Y span and R squared continuously. Okay? Okay. Then we want to really quickly look at medicines versus supplements. Okay, so when do we take medicine? When do we take supplements? Okay, medicines are basically for the 5% of people who are actually sick. Okay, unfortunately during this period, it's not really 5%. It's like a lot more. Okay, for supplements, we are talking about people who are in the sub-healthy category as well as the healthy category. All of them can benefit from supplements. So if you want to take an analogy, right? This is an analogy that I'm borrowing from Belinda. She says that within your body, which is like the estate that you have, okay, the supplement will be like the security guard. Okay, so they actually patrol the place, make sure that there are no trespassers. Okay, and medicine is already, maybe something has already happened, crime has already happened, you need to call the police officer. So that's kind of the difference between medicine and supplements. Okay, just to illustrate, right, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story. So some of you may know that last year I suffered from a dengue attack in the month of August. Okay, so during that period, I was down for 1 month. Okay, and my platelet count fell to a low of 20,000. That was around the 3rd to the 5th of August. And in fact, it was quite interesting because in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, for 3 days, my platelet count was at about 20k. And I believe the doctors were quite confused because either the platelet count starts climbing up if you're on the mend, or it continues to go down to a trough. So usually it doesn't stay for that range for so many days. Okay, actually during that period I continued on my supplements, but maybe I didn't know that I had dengue. I didn't really know that I had dengue initially. So while I took additional dosages of the supplements, I wasn't taking as much G3 as I probably should have. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, so during that period, right, I also noticed that my liver function was impacted as well. Okay, and my ALT and AST scores started to become very low. Yeah, so the doctor advised me that, my ALT and AST scores were elevated beyond 200. Okay, so when I was hospitalized, right, I decided to get my parents to bring the G3 for me. Yeah, so even though I had no appetite, I consumed the entire bottle of G3 within 1-2 days. And so I was only hospitalized for about 3.5 days, because subsequent to me taking the G3, right, I was able to be discharged on the 6th of August. At which point I started to resume all my supplements, especially H-Log Duo, which is the R-Squared and the Y-Span. Okay, and I'm happy to share with you, right, that by the 8th of August, my platelet count went from a low of 20 on the 5th of August to 161k, which is well within the normal range. And by the 29th of August, which is towards the end of the month, my liver enzymes were back to normal. My ALT was 22 and my AST was 29. So really, I'm very, very grateful that I know about Pharmanex and I know about H-Log, and it really has speeded up my recovery. Okay, because I've actually seen a lot of friends who have suffered from dengue, and honestly speaking, I was very scared of getting dengue because I saw that after they had dengue, right, their immune system was never really very strong again, and they fell sick very, very easily and very, very frequently after the dengue. Yeah. Okay, so we move on. The final thing that we want to talk about is the body composition. Okay, so people who have high BMI tend to score lower SES scores. Okay, so what do we mean by higher BMI? Okay, so basically, right, there was a news by this Dr. Leong. It was reported by Dr. Leong that basically they're trying to share who should wear masks and who shouldn't wear masks. And interestingly enough, right, he actually said that people who are obese should wear masks, and that because of the shortage of masks, they can wear it for more than 1 day. Okay, and what do they mean by obese? He's actually referring to people with BMI of over 30. Okay, but I think it's a good time to relook our lifestyle habits and our own body composition at this time, to assess, is this how we want to live for the rest of our lives? So COVID-19 is a very good time to take stock of our lives as well. And to me, it's like taking a look at our body mass index. Okay, so what are the various ranges? We're talking about healthy range. We're talking about below 23, above 18.5. Okay, and basically, this is the healthy range. So you'll be at a low or medium risk. Anything above 24 27.5 is considered as a high risk for chronic ailments like heart disease, high blood pressure, as well as diabetes. Okay, so of course there are the charts for the body fat for men and women that you can refer to. Okay, I'm not going to go through this, but essentially we are looking at the fitness level. You don't have to be really at the athletic level, but you don't want to be definitely in the overfat or the obese category. Okay, so everyone do your best to improve your health. And then the other thing to take note of is really the visceral fat as well. Okay, so visceral fat, essentially for women below 4, for men below 8. Okay, that will be classified as normal. Anything above those levels will be subject to a higher risk for heart disease, high blood pressure, as well as diabetes. So this visceral fat, different from body fat. Okay, visceral fat is the fat that surrounds your organs. Okay. Okay, so we just now mentioned that there's TR90, okay, that is listed in the physician's desk reference. And if you are looking at improving your body composition, there is age-lock TR90 that you can look into. Okay, features of TR90, basically you don't need to starve yourself. You don't have to exercise vigorously. You know, if you are actually at a high BMI level, right, or you have a high level of visceral fat, it is actually quite dangerous to exercise vigorously. Not only might you damage your knees and your joints, but the cartilage, right? But basically, if you have a high level of visceral fat, that's not very good as well. Okay, so guaranteed no side effects, healthy after weight loss, and I think importantly no regain in weight, so no rebound. And also one thing that I really like about TR90, and I believe it's one of the very, very amazing features, is that it works at your genetic level to make sure that your genes work with you rather than against you. How good is that, right? Okay, so the 4 pillars of health, let's do a recap. Really, we're talking about having good dietary habits, okay, taking good supplements, okay, choosing the right lifestyle choices, and having a healthy body composition. Okay, so if you want to know what your readings are, definitely approach your friends who invited you to attend today's session to find out what your various readings are in terms of your BMI, your body fat, your visceral fat, okay, as well as your muscle percentage, and then also definitely get your SCS scores taken. With that, we've come to the end of this Morning Star Guaranteed course. My name is Audre, and it's been a pleasure to be with you this morning. Good morning, everyone.